I think I question myself as much as anything else, because it gets me to look at myself, this job, being at the bottom. You follow the piles of crap, and there'll be a pile of human beings at the end of it. So it's quite easy, really.
Greenfinger is a cool film about raising awareness for the growing climate crisis and the dangerous effects of fossil fuels on our environment. I love that it showed all these different perspectives on this crisis, generations young and old, and how it's affecting them and how they see the future. It's infuriating watching this and realizing how apathetic most of society is about these dangers, and how apathetic the people in power are about these dangers. So hearing these people talk really brings awareness to this cause, and it's really important, the work that they are doing. I loved hearing from all the different people, and seeing the real passion behind their words, because that also is really effective in getting to people for this cause. I loved the art interspersed between the interviews and between the shots. There was some artistic lighting and shots and art, also helping to bring awareness to this movement that I also thought it was really cool and a nice touch for this film. So overall, I thought it was a great piece of work to bring awareness and to show how passionate these people are about this cause and how important it is to get involved and fight for awareness for the climate crisis. So yeah, I enjoyed this film a lot.
Greenfingers. Well, this film had a lot of substance for me. It was entertaining, but it got a message across. I enjoyed the introduction. The main character, who's a really committed activist, has humor, yet he uses his life to help the environment. And early on in the film, they talk about the responsibility of change, and I feel we don't hear this enough. The film had an artsy way of telling its story, interesting characters, their fears for the future. For a lot of them, they don't want to have children. Some of these younger people feeling that life is becoming meaningless if we can't make changes to our environment. So the transitions were nicely done with artwork and lighting. I thought that was catchy, and it just helped to hold the interest even more. Really enjoyed this.
Greenfingers offers an interesting perspective of installation art and ways that we can make statements and start having conversations about our impact on the environment, especially through littering. I thought it was really thoughtful and compelling, and I loved how we saw excerpts of the artist talking to people as he was setting up his installations, and just hearing his perspective on it. Really great.
We're all villains. We're all messed up. This focuses on the art of protest. Humanity is afraid of the possibility of no future. With climate change making drastic changes, it frightens the future generation, the younger generations. As you hear some of them state within the piece that they don't think they're going to live until they're 60 years old, that they don't want to have kids because they're afraid that there is no future. And you see a man pick up trash, and if you're anything like me, I suddenly had the urge to want to pick up trash. And we follow him as he creates an art installation with the pieces he's collected and sending an even bigger world message back. Greenfingers itself is reminiscent to an expression that derives inspiration from none other than Warhol. And these people out in the field bring awareness of this growing problem for our humanity. And there's a piece of genuine expression here that exists when you hear the person make the statement. I sit here and try to think of bigger and better ideas to showcase awareness, showing that the work is never done when it comes to this predicament. And art is one of the strongest forms of expression when it comes to the human rights movement, and I loved the little stories, the little vignettes that was captured within this piece.
I think Greenfingers had a really great message. Definitely fits within this environmental shorts category for, saving the environment and how we can do that, and what measures need to be put in place to preserve our environment and hopefully rebuild it. As the climate crisis continues and everything's going on, it's just a very important message to be shared right now, and I think you created this message very organically and linearly throughout the piece. It made a lot of sense. You draw on a lot of facts, and there's still an emotional pull and a call to action as well, which is all the three most important components of a documentary. Is, especially with an environmental documentary, is this call to action at the end. So I think you did that very, very well. Logistically, within the filmscape, I think it was shot very well. The transitions were done very well. The sources were reputable. And overall, you created a really, really great piece. Very well done.
I really admired this piece, if for no other reason than it is just hammering home a message that we all know and we all have heard, but we clearly need to continue to hear. So, for that reason alone, I'm glad this one exists. But it was also a really well put together artistic endeavor. There was some great practical effects, these little shots breaking things up, good use of light and color, and multiple exposures, and just yeah, solid practical effects there. I thought there was some really interesting sort of flourishes to the meat and potatoes of the story, which is an important one. Again, it's a message, it's an important one, and it's a strong one, and it's presented here really well in a way that is just easily digested. And I think that's important. We need as many different types of media and ways to convey this message about preserving our future and our planet. And our the fellow here presenting this is just a really charming, interesting fella, and yeah, I think that goes a long way. So all in all, it was a really strong piece.
So we have Green Fingers. Green Finger is a powerful short. It teaches us how problematic the world is nowadays, especially all the troubles that we have with the climate change and the waste, the many landfills, the open air landfills that we see every day anywhere in the world. This contributes to the climate change, and seeing these people, these organizations trying to fight back, try to keep the streets clean. I think is a powerful tool to use to just wake people up, and just get them to realize that the world is decaying, and is mainly because of us, because of the plastic, because of the fossils, as we say as we see in this short. So I think it was powerful and it was very well done, and I love the voiceover. I love the way the filmmaker used this engaging storytelling to tell us a story that is we can see it every day in our lives. So overall, a great short. Congratulations.